Live.
We're live?
And 3, 2.
Y'all. Wait, what am I doing? Hi y'all, welcome back to Lala's Time Machine. This is a channel dedicated to a current cookbook for my future grandchildren. So today we are going to be working on the second recipe that has been in my cookbook, which is lemon ricotta cake.
It's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake.
Now, the reason why we have a lemon ricotta cake is because typically when I end up making lasagna, I have so much ricotta that's left. I'm like, what should I do with all of this? And after thinking about it and making lasagna so many times, I was like, you know what? Let's repurpose it and let's make something delicious, a nice something sweet after. So up for today, we have the basics on how to make lemon ricotta cake. We are also then going to do our extra sprig thyme, which we are going to be doing a vanilla creme fraiche. Also, we'll have some alternatives as well because creme fraiche, as you will soon find out, takes a wee bit of time. And we're going to have some fun with it. So come on and let's get baking. The cookbook. So today we are going to be working on the lemon ricotta cake, which is coming from lasagna. Boom. Like before, we have our prep time, cook time. There are 3 important brands that we have: oleo, ricotta that we use from our lasagna recipe, heavy cream, and also a kind of vanilla extract, which I think is best to use for this recipe. And I haven't included yet, but vanilla paste as well. Like always, we have our ingredients. As you can notice, it's a very simple list. This cake is super simple. It's supposed to be effective and simple in a way to repurpose the ricotta. We have our step-by-step. And for our extra sprig, we have our vanilla creme fraiche with berries as a little bit of a touch. So let's go ahead, close the book, and y'all, let's get baking. I'm so excited to make this. I've been craving this for a while. Matter of fact, I'm so excited. I'm wearing a lemon ring. You see this ring? I'm wearing a lemon ring. Matter of fact, I'm wearing my lemon earrings. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a lemon hair clip. Matter of fact, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm wearing my yellow hospital stepper socks. Okay, so let's butter up. Let's preheat the oven. Preheating is way more important. That's gonna make sure that we can butter, set aside, and make our cake. We're doing a very cute, simple process. Shouldn't take a lot of time. So we have bake, and from what I can remember, we are preheating to 350. So it's perfectly on here. We'll do start. That's gonna preheat. Okay, y'all. So before we can even start making the cake, we need to talk about the cake. I decided for this one and for today, I'm gonna use a bundt cake, but you can use any pan. You can do a loaf. You can do anything that you need to bake and put batter in. It's a cute bundt cake. And we need to talk about buttering. We need to butter her up, okay? We don't want no sticks. You see, look inside, nooks and crannies. You wanna use softened butter. It's the most malleable. For this, you're using a paper towel. You can use one of the tools that has like little spaghetti hairs to brush in. Personally, if it's a rounder cake, I would go in at the base here, and you just want to start and kind of go in. But you see how that's difficult with this one? Okay, y'all, so this was the tool that I was talking about. What you're going to do is you take this, or you can use a paper towel. You're gonna dig it into your butter, and you're just gonna go ahead and coat all the nooks and crannies. Of course, because I'm using a bundt cake, I have to be a bit more thorough. And once you're done, we're gonna set this aside and go ahead and start making our cake so we can put it in and we can get going. So yeah. Okay, so we have finished our buttered thing. It looks beautiful, nicely coated. I ended up taking a napkin and just wiping some of it out. We are now going to swab because we're going to start building our ingredients. But before we do that, we need to have a small conversation about what we have. So we have some lemons. We're going to use the juice and we're going to use the zest. This is part of our wet ingredients. We have some ricotta. We have some baking powder, baking soda, butter, eggs, and let's talk about these eggs. This is more of a gold egg at this point, okay? We're watching the economy. This is a treasure jewel right now because these eggs were crazy expensive, but that's okay. And we're gonna thank the chicken who gave it to us. We have some sugar and we have some flour. We're gonna go ahead and start with our dry ingredients, and let's see. According to my cookbook and what I put in it, we're gonna start in a medium mixing bowl. This is 2 3/4 a cup of flour. We're just gonna pour that right in, bowl nice and clean. Then we are going to go in with our salt, and we're gonna go in with our baking powder. This is about, I'm gonna say 3/4 a teaspoon of baking powder. Go ahead and dump that in. Then we're going to go ahead and go in with our baking soda. Now, if you ask, Lala, why are you using baking powder and baking soda? That's a question my grandchildren will have to answer, because Lala currently cannot give you an answer. It just works. So, moving on. Then we're gonna go ahead and give it a little mix and move on to the rest of the ingredients. So we have our dry ingredients. You're just gonna take a whisk, just combine them a little bit, a couple stirs, a couple whisks, and we are then going to move on to our wet ingredients. So we can just kind of leave this here for now. For our wet ingredients, we are going to cream together our butter. This is about 1.5 sticks of butter. So we'll dump that in. 2 3/4 cups of sugar. Pour that in. And we're going to grab our electric mixer in a second, and we're going to cream that together, and then after that we will move on with adding the rest of our wet ingredients. So we have creamed together our butter and sugar. Before we do the rest of our wet ingredients, because they have to go one at a time, let's talk lemons. So we need to get the juice, and we also need to get the zest. For the juice, you take a lemon. Personally, I like to take my palms, and we're just gonna roll. I think, in my opinion, that's what gets the juice a bit more juicy. We're gonna take a knife, just cut it in half. Simple. And then we have a juicer, something simple that'll get the job done. I just like to go ahead and take it, and we want our ringer out. You could also probably hear the lemon juice dripping in. I even like how to do this. It's much of the liquid out. It should look something like this after. In terms of the zest, what I'm going to do is you're just going to take it, and we'll use a whole lemon. We take it from the bottom, and as we do the zest, bit by bit, you're gonna see, there she is, like a little bug coming out of the ground, like a little caterpillar. It's gonna come up. This is what we're gonna use. You're gonna keep doing that until you get enough, and then we're gonna dump that in. Let's go ahead and finish our lemons, finish our zest, and then we're gonna combine all our wet ingredients. Right back. Okay, it's now time to put all our wet ingredients in. So from what I put in my recipe, in my cookbook, let me put the glasses on so I can see, we are now going to add our ricotta, and then we're gonna start to blend. As we blend, we will crack our eggs. So let's go ahead and add the ricotta in. This is about 15 ounces. Typically I end up using half a tub of ricotta, and then with the remaining half, I don't need it. And so average about, depending on how much you're using, you should have half a tub left of the ricotta that you're using. So make sure you get the bowl. We want no bits left. Scraper clean. All right, then we're gonna go in. This is a mixture of vanilla and vanilla bean paste. This is about, I think it's about a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I just added some vanilla bean paste from a really good local vendor. It smells like, y'all, it smells so good. So, and the vanilla beans paste will give it a nice extra oomph. We'll give it some flavor, some little bits of seeds of texture. And then the star of the show, we have our juice. So this is the juice of 4 lemons. We're gonna pour this in. Beautiful. And then we're gonna add some of our zest. You just tap that in. There are a couple little, yeah, I'm gonna scrape that out. Look at that. Maybe that's not smart. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and blend this up, and then we're gonna just take our eggs step by step and we're gonna crack them in. My recipe calls for 3 eggs. All right, we'll be right back. Looks like recording's like, oh my god, he on X Games mode.
Oh, hey, it me, man.
Sorry. Oh my god, she's on X Games mode. Okay, we have our eggs. Personally, I do a one-handed crack.
How do you do that, man?
The ancestors tell me how to crack the egg, and they tell me when to stop. So if y'all want to learn, I would say do a little, you know, do a little hey you home. Hopefully they respond to y'all. So we're gonna give this a good mix, a good stir. We want it to be a good liquid, and then we're going to add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients and give it another good combine. Da, 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 da.
Da, da, da.
Da, 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 da. All right, y'all, we are back. We have mixed our wet. We are going to incorporate our dry bit by bit. You can do it with one hand if you'd like. We're gonna start on low and slowly and gradually add everything in bit by bit. Let's do the rest of our flour. A little tip that I want to show that I like to do is once it's well and evenly combined, you can then take and I kind of tilt the bowl to the side like this to get the sides. So that's my trick for incorporating the sides that get stuck. I'll show it again. Like for example here, you just take and you just like run the blade against the bowl, and that'll help everything get well and nicely combined. All right, let's give it a couple more stirs, and then we will go ahead and put everything into the bucket. Action. All right, so we well combined everything. Something I like to do is I like to test and taste. That is delicious.
Salmonella. Salmonella.
Okay, that is delicious. I like to do this. I've done this since I was a kid when I was baking to get the rest of the batter off. I just kind of go and put it above the bowl and increase speed gradually and get the remaining batter bits, because by the time you're done, hopefully it should look different. Okay. Okay, we have our batter. It looks really good. We are going to take this and gradually just pour it, beautiful, all around, and then we'll go back in to evenly. Now for the bundt cake, you don't want to fill it all the way because it's going to rise. So I'm going to stop here and just go ahead, get every nook and cranny. I actually have some leftover batter, so we are going to do a cupcakes. We're going to do some surprise cupcakes. I have extra batter. I don't want to waste it. We're going to do cupcakes. Maybe we'll do a loaf.
La vida es un
Check, let's get this in the oven at least, and then we'll have a surprise extra element to this video, which is how to repurpose this batter. I'm gonna go ahead and even out a little bit more. I'm also a little scared because I don't want this to overfill or to rise, so I'm just filling some gaps. If you can see closely, there's like vanilla bean specks. It smells really good. The pan has been buttered. This is going to be a delicious bundt cake. Now, because my recipe does call for about 45 to 55 minutes, I'm going to put it at that, and then if it's still a little loose, increase the time. Also, I might go ahead and increase the preheat just because I'm now dealing with a bigger dish and I want to give it more time versus a smaller bundt cake, which I typically use. I'm going to adjust that. We're going to pop it into the oven and let's figure out how to repurpose this extra batter. Okay, here's our batter. I'm going to put her in. We're in the center rack. Close it. Babes. Cook time. Okay. What time would I say? Okay. Sorry, babes. I'm so sorry that I have inconvenienced you. Yeah? Are we ready?
Rolling,
Oh, we're rolling. Oh my god. Hi y'all. Welcome to Sprig Time. Extra Sprig Time. Tis and twas tis right now. Why are you laughing?
So that nigga Kai just wants some water.
Here's Kai. He's a little fatty. He's a fatty waddy who. Open my mic, boy. He's a fatty waddy. He's a cutie. Where's our bad boy? Look at him. Snatch him up. This is Milo. He runs this house. He looks cute, but he's a Tasmanian devil. Okay, y'all. So we are in Sprig Time, and we are going to be doing a homemade vanilla creme fraiche, and we're also going to do a vanilla bean icing for our bundt cake as well. Our cakes are in the oven. We have about 20 minutes left on them, so this is a perfect time to go ahead and get this stuff started. So according to my recipe, this should not take long. Okay, that's what I put. Should not take long. Again, this is Grandma Lala's recipe. I'm writing this for the future grandchildren. So if they're like, oh, Grandma, how long? My response is look at the book. The book says, should not take long to make. She has spoken for herself. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna begin with what we have. We have some heavy cream. We have some homemade buttermilk. In terms of the homemade buttermilk, it's about 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and then you fill the rest up. I'm just putting a cup for right now, up with regular whole fat milk. Heavy on whole fat, no skim, no lean, no 60-day diet. Whole fat Twinkies, 33.65. That's what we want in our milk, okay? We have some vanilla extract with vanilla bean. We have some cinnamon, and then we have some sugar. You don't have to do the sugar. I just like it to be a little sweet because this is a creme fraiche that can be used for desserts. Let's go ahead. Oh, and then we have our 2 mason jars. This is because once we're done and we mix all our ingredients, these are going to sit in room temperature for about 12 to 24 hours, and then we will transfer that to the fridge. So the creme fraiche takes longer compared to a vanilla bean icing, which is going to be ready to whip up. And for this one, we're going to be making it a lot looser. We don't want a thick one, but we'll get to that. All right, let's start with getting our ingredients for this one. We are going to go ahead and start with our heavy cream. I want to like mix everything in this bowl and then we'll transfer. So for our heavy cream, we have about, I've called for a larger quantity, but for the purpose of this recipe, because I'm not making as much, my recipe calls for about 3 pints or 48 ounces of, but this is about 32 ounces. And then in terms of the buttermilk, I've called for 6 tablespoons. This is really just 1 cup of whole milk with 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. We're gonna pour that in. And then we have our vanilla bean extract. Pour that in. Again, I get this. This is the same thing that I used within my loaf as well, but really good quality. Then we have some cinnamon, just ground cinnamon, nothing crazy, nothing too special. Go ahead and get her in. And then we are going to end with some good old white sugar. You could use a spoon. This is my kitchen, so I'm using my finger. I'm using a whisk. The buttermilk is gonna make it harder to break through. So what I like to do, as you can see, we're having a layer that's coming up. I put it to the side. And there you go. That's how you incorporate it really well. Do this until it's well combined, and then we are going to put and fill this in our mason jars and make sure that y'all have a funnel. I put that in the recipe book, so make sure there's a funnel in there. And we'll be right back for whatever reason. And if you can already tell, the liquid, it's already pretty thick. So this is about a cup. So I'll say about that much. And then what we're gonna do is take some parchment paper. Any regular parchment paper will work. Take a little, and then what we're gonna do is lightly screw it on. So we don't want you to I don't want it airtight, but just enough. Reporting live from the kitchen, we have breaking news. T-minus 5 minutes on the loaves. We have, vanilla and powdered sugar and milk that we're gonna whip up. It is a very, very serious day for the American public. Jim, back to you. What do you think?
I'm just hungry for some cake, man.
You've heard it, guys. The man is hungry for some cake. Let the people eat cake. Marie Antoinette. All right, y'all. So we have milk, we have powdered sugar, and we have vanilla. I don't even have a recipe for this. I just know how to make homemade frosting. This is the amount of powdered sugar that you want. So we can just... And then we have a little bit of whole fat milk and the same vanilla bean paste. We're gonna pour that in. Make sure we get all of it nicely in. And then, with a little bit of milk, we are just going to mix and mix and mix and mix. Add a little bit of milk if you really need it.
Got my cake.
Our cake is almost done. We're just giving a little bit more time, and we'll be back with a really good consistency. We have the vanilla, we have the bean paste. I want it really, y'all look at that. Ooh, and it tastes good. That is delicious. T-minus 0 minutes. Our cakes are ready. Our bundt cake, fresh out of the oven. Poke it in the center. It's dry. I like to do multiple throughout. You ready for some cake?
It's not even a question. I've been asking this whole time.
Take it. Flip it. Oh, flip it. Ready? Look at our bundt cake. Y'all, it looks so good. It smells good. I can see the vanilla bean specks inside of it. Look, it's pointy. So we have some of our icing. We have some powdered sugar. And then we're gonna cut into it and do some whipped cream and some strawberries. Let's go ahead and get a nice drizzle. Really, honestly, I just want to see how it looks. I have no rhyme or reason to how this looks. I just want a nice coat. I don't want it to go down the seams because we have a lot of sugar with the whipped cream. Ooh, yeah, look how beautiful that is. Yes. You could just pour it down so it drips down. But I kind of don't want it down. I just want it to do it. I want gravity. What's this song called? Why are you
I'm just gonna eat it. Eat it straight. I'm hungry for some cake, man.
trying to steal my cake?
I'm still one of them things.
It's drip on. The heat is making it drip down the sides. Beautiful. I'm satisfied with this. Then we're gonna end with some powdered sugar. So woo. So the way we're gonna cut it is I'm gonna go in, let's go this way. Y'all, I kid you not, you can smell the lemon from here. And I like it extra lemony, but everyone has their own preference. Let's go ahead. Steaming. Really, you should let this set, but I don't want to. All right, we're gonna also top it with some whipped cream on the side, and then just a like fresh. Look at the steam. Look at the steam. Okay, well, there was steam. Maybe the steam's gone. There was steam, y'all. Whoa, she's back. Magic, magic. All right, let's see. Oh my God, guys, it's a little bundt cake. It looks so good. All right, let's go from, I like the back, but I'll go in the front for y'all. Okay. I like the crunchy bits of the, it's not even crunchy, but like, of the pan.
Put a cut on that. Put
Yeah?
a cut on that, man.
You like, it's good?
Wrap it up.
All right, y'all. This was lemon ricotta cake. Sweet, super easy. It's delicious. It's something you can make right after you make lasagna, or you can just make it. We're entering spring. It's a great springtime, summertime dessert. It's delicious, simple ingredients. You're also repurposing ingredients, which I think is amazing. I think the cake speaks for itself. Let's really look at her. Let's look at her. Look how beautiful she is. Look at her. Oh, it's so beautiful. I have no words. Honestly, I'm about to dive in. Happy springtime, happy summer, lemon ricotta cake. No more to say. Grandma, lala, we ate this up. That's all I gotta say. So, go make yourself one. Bye.